What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to JJD TV. I'm your host, Josh, and the international break is finally over. Thank you. Everyone I have seen on Twitter and Instagram just does not enjoy this time to watch the national team. I don't know what it is. I agree, though. I just really didn't enjoy it much myself. I wanted to get back to club football, and I'm just excited to bring you guys this match preview episode between Hertha Berlin and Borussia Dortmund. So let's get into it the way that we always do with our match previews and just looking at a little brief history of the clubs. In the past 3 seasons, we've done very well against them, and we haven't lost to them in 3 seasons. We've taken at least a point out of all those games. So just in general, the past few seasons has been a lot in our favor. And looking on recent form, Hertha is 2-1-4 right now in the season, so not the best start for them, but they did come off a 3-0 win against Augsburg, which was a very impressive performance from them. Finally, it looked like they're getting their feet, so they should be coming in with a little bit of confidence, where we are 5-0-2, and we are coming off a bitter defeat against Bayern Munich, which sucks in that 3-2 loss there, but we are seeing a lot of positives from the team, and in my opinion, the game against Bayern could have went either way, and there was a ton of chances in that game for Haaland and Royce specifically, and it was a tough one for us in the end, but I think we still are going to go in there with a little bit of confidence, and it should be a really good tilt between these two clubs, especially because, I mean, I know that there's no fans there, but Hertha usually does pretty well at home. And so let's just dive on into what I think that Borussia Dortmund is going to line up with, and I think that they're going to stick, obviously, with the 4-2-3-1. There's just no reason that formation is going to disappear anytime soon. And I'm going to predict which in my opinion right now is our best starting 11. And I'm actually have a feeling this may be the starting 11 we see. And looking in goal, we're going to go Roman Bürki. There's no excuses as to why it would be hits. So, I mean, Bürki's going to start a net for us. On our right back, Thomas Meunier. I mean, and it's funny because like we do have some other options right now. It's just that he hasn't been left out yet. And it's just, I don't know what game is going to take to get him out of the starting 11. He did have a ton of minutes with Belgium, which may throw in Favre to throw in like pass slack, but if I'm going with my gut, I have a feeling he'll probably start again alongside Akanji and Hummels in the middle of the park. Hummels obviously didn't get called up to Germany because Jurgen Löw knows exactly what he's doing, so he got a little bit of rest and should be ready to go to partner up with Akanji in the center of the park. In our back, and looking at our left back, thankfully Guerrero didn't have a serious injury. It's looking like he'll be good to go for the Hertha game, so I mean, obviously, if he's fit and firing, he's going to be starting as our left back, and that's exactly where I'm going to have him. Looking at our center defensive mids, I'm going to go with the combo that I really want to see, and De Hood obviously not starting against Bayern. I think that he's just ready to go here in a game like Hertha. Hertha can be very physical as well, but I still think that this is an opportunity for De Hood to link up with our mids and our front forward, and I think it'd be very important for Favre to start him. So I want to say De Hood with Delaney. I want to see that combo. I really thought they played well together, and I think it's going to be a good opportunity to get them back, get going, get some chemistry, and build on it in a game against Hertha. Looking at our front four is where a little bit of controversy can happen. Some of the players that I may leave out, but for me, I'd like to see Hazard as our right attacking mid, Sancho as our left attacking mid, Royce through the middle as our cam, with Haaland up front as our striker. That leaves out Reina, that leaves out Brandt. I know, but I just think that Royce had a good showing against Bayern. He got some rest, not being away on international duty. It makes no sense for Brandt to start, but I mean, it sucks because you want to see Brandt get in, but I just think that he was away on international duty and he's not on tip-top form either. So just for me, Royce is the more realistic one to go with, as well with the two natural wingers. Sorry, Reina just doesn't quite cut it in my opinion as the winger. He needs to play through the middle. And then Haaland not avoiding prison and going to start up front. So that's awesome. But notably, we have Youssoufa Moukoko on the bench. So we got to be very careful with that because he potentially may be the youngest ever player to play in the Bundesliga, being 16 years old in 1 day. So we definitely want to keep an eye out on him. So speaking of him, we're just going to dive on into our key matchups. And I know the player I just mentioned is not starting. I mean, he very well may start, but in my opinion, he probably will come off the bench knowing Favre about the 70th minute. But the one player to keep an eye on in a matchup I want to see is Youssoufa Moukoko versus Nicholas Stark. Because, hear me out, if he comes off the bench, which it's very likely he will because we want to see him break this record, we also want to see him score in his debut. Come on, we saw Haaland do it. Just be the youngest player to ever score in the Bundesliga is probably something that's on the kid's mind. He's very confident, knows what he's doing. It wouldn't shock me to see him come off the bench and potentially do that. And I think the one big player on Hertha to stand in his way would be Nicholas Stark. I really rate Stark. I think he's a good defender. He can play as a center back. He can play as a center defensive mid. And I think that he'll be a key person to potentially, whether it be watching Haaland or one of the top front four. But for me, it's Moukoko I want to take an eye on because I want him to get his debut opener and to break that record. It'd be so cool to see. And Stark's the one, in my opinion, standing in his way. Flipping that around, looking at a dangerous player for Hertha, and that's Matheus Cunha. No doubt about it. He is by far their best player this season. He wears their number 10. He wears it proudly. He just came off an excellent performance against Augsburg, and he's going to be one we definitely have to keep an eye on. He can play anywhere pretty much in the front four. He'll probably play as a secondary striker in, I'm assuming Hertha will line up in a 4-2-3-1 or potentially 4-4-2, where he'll either be a second striker or a cam. And then he'll probably go up against our man, Mats Hummels. I want to keep an eye on Mats because he obviously fought off that knock to be able to play in the Bayern game, but he had that international break to just kind of rejuvenate, get ready, get firing. He's playing well, and I think there's one big man that we need to be able to shut down Cunha. It's going to be Mats Hummels. So with that is our little match preview here. I'm very excited to look forward to this. We're all excited to see what Moukoko can do coming from the bench. I mean, we may get a shocker. He may start, but knowing Favre, I very much doubt it, but I would think that there's a realistic opportunity we can see him, and that there is an opportunity that he may be able to score and smash a couple Bundesliga records. So with that, I'm going to give you my prediction. I'm only going to do the one prediction this week, and it's going to be the prediction of Borussia Dortmund versus Hertha Berlin, and I'm going to say a 2-1 win for Dortmund. I'm going to say that because Hertha, in my opinion, does play pretty well when they're home. Without the fans, can kind of throw it all over the place. And they did come off a very positive result against Augsburg, but I think that we're going to be looking to bounce back. We got a very disappointing result against Bayern, and we just need this result. We need to get a bounce back win. We're usually very good at getting that bounce back win when we really need it, and I think this is a perfect opportunity to do so. So I'm going to say a 2-1 win for the boys, and we're going to be doing a watch along, so definitely check that out. We're going to be counting down the minutes until we see Moukoko come off the bench and hopefully bang home a goal. So with that comes the end to our little match preview. We're all excited club football is back, so if you are new around here, be sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and we will see you next time.